Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn about the ways of buying goods and tech services from others through bidding process. Let's check inside for more details. Procurement, a department in a company that takes offer for buying goods for their company and also takes services from other organizations to complete some sort of jobs. There are processes to follow, where we call for bid or request for a price quotation directly for purchasing products or goods. The bidder therefore submits their offers to evaluate the technical and financial capabilities. At the end, whoever got the best price and meet up the technical requirement will be selected. Now we have two sort of bidding to take places. Consultancy works are usually selected through the EOI and RFP stages to follow to get the contract. The client here selects the bidder on the basis of quality of works and best price offered for the project in the RFP stage. There is a ToR called Terms of Reference to follow the guidelines to qualify for the works. Then there is a generalized bid process taking the technical and financial parts into consideration to evaluate after the submission of offers getting from the bidders and the lowest price giver will get the contract. Employers often mark the technical and financial offers separately and it weighs like 70% and 30% respectively. Let's get to know about the ways of submitting the bid offers. Employers often call for a single bid to submit both technical and financial offers in one envelope. Sometimes bidders submit technical and financial offers both in separate envelopes, which we often call the double envelope system. Now all the offers are taken at once on a scheduled date of dropping. The bids are thus open to the public to reveal the names of the companies, and after a few months, the best offer is chosen. This is called a single stage bid submission. There is a double stage bidding that takes place for a big or mega projects. You can't just select it by your technical offer or best price at once, but you have to technically qualify first, and then you are asked to submit the financial offer to get the contract with the lowest cost, among others. The employer can ask for clarification from you in the technical stage if there are any shortcomings. These bid formats are usually designed by the international donor agencies for projects like Asian Development Bank, World Bank, Islamic Development Bank, and Zyka. EOI, which is called the expression of interest, where a bidder usually submits its technical documents and audited reports as per requirement. A list of inventory and workforce of the company along with a letter of intent and company legal documents should be shared here. If you are a JB, then you have to submit additional company documents and a JB information sheet. You have to submit your overall work experiences in a short profile where one or two similar kind of work experiences will be counted. Once you get shortlisted, then you are invited to submit the offer for the RFP request for proposal stage. You have got to present your technical capabilities with a list of experts and the CVs, technical methodology, project implementation plan, expert or staff deployment metrics, and your experience certificates that have been submitted earlier in the EOI stage in a short profile. And also, you have to submit the financial offer separately with an annual turnover record in the recent years and cost estimated for the project. Now then, you can check here a word called ToR, Terms of Reference, where you have to follow the instructions like a guideline for formatting the CVs of experts, company information sheets, forwarding letter, format, given to draft the technical methodology. You have to meet all the requirements to qualify for the work. The entire process here is majorly applicable for consultancy works only. To write a perfect proposal, you have to make sure that the bid forms and other fundamental parts like CVs, methodologies, or NASs in the bid document are written in error-free, smart English language. Often a small mistake in writing will cause a lot. For that, I designed a small pyramid to show you the tools that I used here. First of all, the grammatical error checking using Coolboot. When we write an EOI and RFP document, our language must be perfect to check my spelling and grammatical mistakes in letters or essays. Like the methodology, I use Killboard. It helps me a lot to rewrite complex sentences into simple professional English. And also, it makes sure there is no plagiarism or direct copying from the main ToR document. Then I use the small PDF for editing the PDF documents and also extract the pages that I need. And also, I could merge the multiple PDFs into one single file. You can also convert PDFs into Word file and image files with just one click. At the end, I use the Cambridge dictionary. It's very important to make sure our proposal look official. We must use strong and correct words. I use this trusted dictionary site to check advanced vocabulary and find professional words for my essays. How to prepare and draft an expression of interest proposal or EOI offer based strictly on the employer's instruction in the official notice. I have spent the last 15 years of my professional career preparing and processing bid offers for both consultancy and engineering works. Over the years, my team have achieved major successes in winning complex tenders. Today, I will walk you through a recent EOI notice for a solar power plant project consultancy that I personally worked and processed tender proposals. And now I'll show you exactly how to analyze it. Let's check out this EOI notice as a sample to you. A renowned power generation company in Bangladesh have floated this project or project tender notice through an expression of interest for the selection of consultants for design review, supervision, and monitoring consultancy works as honest engineers for the 220 megawatt solar power plant construction project and the livelihoods improvement project. Note that the term livelihood here, this component works much like a social development program. Your expert here will assess the local communities, evaluate their income sources, and design some training programs to improve the living standards of the families near the project site. Please also inform that the consultants will work directly from the client side here. As the owner's engineers, you are appointed to act as employer's authority on site. Your role is to review the EPC contractor's works, approve their plant design and drawings, verify the equipment and materials to ship, and monitor the construction schedule through installation, erection, testing, and commissioning period. Because final approval always rests with the client and you do not act here as an independent or outside consultant, but rather than an extension of the client's management team. Then the country of origin, where the project will take place in Bangladesh. The mode of financing here is taken lease or loan, as this company I told about them before. The renowned power generation company in Bangladesh, they took a loan from ISDB, the Islamic Development Bank, which is a renowned international donor agency to raise funds for the projects overseas. Then you have the EOI reference number and the issue date. You must mention this EOI reference number and issue date on your cover letter or forwarding letter to submit the proposal and all through the bidding process for corresponding. Let's go now directly to clause number 2, which outlines the core duties of the consultant to perform on behalf of the client in implementing a turnkey contract of at least 220 megawatt AC solar power plant through an EPC contractor from design, procurement, supply, installation and erection, testing and commissioning. Your role here is to assist the client across 4 key areas: managing the turnkey project with EPC contract from design stage to commissioning, ensuring the compliance with ISDB safeguard standards, executing the livelihood program, and monitoring power output through the operational period after the commissioning period, which you call the defect liability period as well for the next 1 year, that the EPC can guarantee the output generation would be 220 megawatt AC, and also some basic reporting on health and safety and environmental social safeguard we must comply the ISDB standard as set. The project timeline will be 3 years from 1st July 2025 to 30th June 2028, and duration of your consultancy service lasts for 30 months. One thing to notice here, the 85% or man months of total professional input given here are deployed in this project. Remember, the man months measure the total work volume or labor volume, not the calendar duration. So you must design a precise manpower deployment matrix to balance your experts' schedules against this requirement. Next up, we can check out the eligibility to qualify for the project, what we need to qualify. So interested consultants must provide specific information which demonstrates that they are fully capable or qualified to perform the duties, and how the employer will assess you to see your brochures, description of similar assignments have been done before, experience in similar conditions, availability of appropriate skill among staff, the manpower. Now let's check out the listings here. You have to prove, or you have to show and prove an experience of any engineering consultancy or any engineering development works to be done in the last 5 years in your country or in abroad. Then you have to show the provenness of the specific experience you have in similar solar PV projects of compatible size, complexity, technical specialty to have in a required area. Firm shall also prove in this experience providing the consultancy services, detail like service for design review, what you have done there, supervision and monitoring of the EPC contractor works in at least one project, at least 50 megawatt capacity. This capacity mentioned here as 50 megawatt, you can have a cumulative 50 megawatt experience, or maybe you have a single contract of 50 megawatt experience. No matter what you have, but at least 50 megawatt or above. Mentioning have at least one project to show, maybe you can take two accounts to show. Then you will have an experience to work in a project financed by any multilateral development banks like the ADB or World Bank funded projects in the recent year. That also maybe some consultancy job to do because it's a consultancy project, so you ought to give respect and to have advantage in this qualification criteria. You must need an experience in the similar nature of works. Then the technical capability of a manager staffs or above or below who is working in the firm as a permanent staff. The key experts will be as required for the EOI stage and also for the RFP to proceed to deploy in the project. They will not be evaluated though in this EOI shortlisting stage. Once you get selected for the RFP, at that stage they will be interviewed by the employer. The key experts I will show you later in the ToR document will be selected based on their quality and qualification, but these experts or consultants are deploying at the site will be from the international parts and also the national parts. So you ought to have a respective partner from the foreign countries, like the member state or member countries enlisted in ISDB. Then you have to submit some supporting documents in support of the above: the registration paper, the legal identity of your company, and business incorporation certificates, tax certificates, then the JV agreement or letter of intent. Anywhere you can get the format in the ISDB website or in the guideline. The firm's brochure, as I told, showing the firm's staffing and management structure, the service experience record, and the similar solar PV project experience record. The certificate should include the nature of the work, the total cost of the project, the total input that you have given in terms of man month, the employer name, and location of service. Number 4 here denotes the procurement policy or the guidelines for the procurement of consulting services under Islamic Development Bank Project Finance in April 2019, or you can have the revised version February 2023. Here you can get some basic terms and condition and basic guideline to prepare the EOI proposal, later the RFP proposal to qualify. Some of the technical and financial forms also there. You can download it from directly from their website. Then something about the JV and sub consultancy. You can check it out later. And most important thing here about the evaluation, I will tell you a brief about it. The selection process that follows the quality of works and cost-based selection. We call it a QCBS method. This is to measure your technical score and financial proposal toward the final selection. Remember, there will be no evaluation of your financial resources or project cost estimates at this EOI stage. These elements are only evaluated later during the RFP stage alongside the technical offer. So basically, in the EOI stage, the capacity of your firm, the capacity of the manpower, and the registration, legal identity of your firm, and the workforce that you are deploying, and also some of the basic methodology of the works, how we uplift the job. This is to scrutiny by the employer. Then the address showing here below, Mr. X, the Executive Director Planning Development. You have to address him to submit the offer either in person or by email by January 2026, 1500 hour Bangladesh Standard Time. However, the office operating hours are from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now let's check out some of the systematic process of the EOI offer preparation, and following to that, we will also look into some important points in terms of reference document, which is a bidding document in this case, to draft a RFP proposal. My dear friends, let us explore a bit about the basic forms that to be submitted along with the brochure and JP information sheet and letter of intent. So I have talked before in the UI notice. So these forms are essential to enclose in the UI offer, and some of the formats are given from the ISDB themselves. They have made up these formats to fill out with the general experiences first. Let us check out this table. So each of the column contains the information from us. So we have to give all of the experience of the works that we done before, or eventually some of the running projects can include. But better to include those completed projects here, the general consultancy or any engineering works project. And the serial number up to 11 are mentioned here, so you can just extend up. Then we have to mention the project title here, the duration of the project site location. Total cost should be in USD or it could be in euro. So USD and euros are the formats internationally followed by the international donor agencies, like they set for recognizing in one single currency for all the bidders from all over the world. So some of the projects might be undertaken by any companies in their own country. So in that case, that could be funded by World Bank or any other international donor agencies. So in that particular projects, you might have seen that your foreign partner receives the payment in USD and you receive the payment in your local currency. So what you can do here, you just mention the total cost of the project in USD, but accumulating both of the costs of the foreign part and national part. The national part, if it could be in your local currency, you just simply exchange the currency with the exchange rate. Better to consider the exchange rate of the date of commencement of the works, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, or recently you have completed. Then the total man month, the input the experts have been deployed for this project, how much they have put their effort in the works. So that could be considered here. Employer name, the nature of the projects. So you can describe about the project works in brief. Then you have the format for stipulating the information of the specific experiences. The similar experiences like the consultancy projects in solar power plants as honest engineers will be advantageous for you. Serial number again, project title, duration of the projects, formats are same. Just put the information here correctly. So as many of the experiences, especially in the specific experience criteria, if you have, the chances will be increased for you to be eligible to win the contract. The format given for putting information of the multilateral development bank funded projects, similar one. So in a company that I work for, they have the work experiences financed by World Bank earlier. They have completed the project successfully with a foreign partner. It was a consultancy project also in similar nature, not for the client, but also as for themselves. They work from the design stage to the commissioning stage of the transmission line and few substations. Then the CV samples of the particular experts that you are engaging in this project. This is the format given from the ISDB. ADB and World Bank and other donor agencies may have some other formats like GIZ, the German funded projects. They usually follow the Europass formats. So this is the first content here, proposed position, heading for this project, like a team leader or deputy team leader. You mention here, simply name of the person to mention, date of birth, nationality, membership. If you have any professional societies like IEEE, International Organization for the Engineers, then JCI and other type of organizations. Educational background, the institute name, the degree obtained, and date of obtaining the degree. If any kind of training you have completed in your career, languages and degree of proficiency. The experts might have proficiency in English, English maybe I can I can experience this proficiency is like we know about the English level of proficiency written like A1, B1, or C1, like beginner, intermediate, or advanced level of English. So this is kind of thing. Countries of work experiences where you have worked before, like I've worked in Korea before, so that is an advantage for me to get qualified very easily or to simply gain a lot of points here. Employment record, the employer name, position I held, and from when to how many years I have worked. The works undertaken that best show your capability to handle this similar kind of assignment. So similar kind means the project for that you are bidding for is mentioned here. The year of the work, location of the site, client, project features, position you held, and activities performed. Lastly, the certification to declare that me or any of my expert was not a former employee on the client side immediately before the submission of this proposal. So he or she should be retired before. To the best of my knowledge and belief, this biodata correctly describe myself, my qualifications, and my experiences. I understand that any willful misstatement described herein may lead to my disqualification or dismissal if I engaged. Sign and date of signing. So we just add up this CV format according to the expert, no matter how many experts are needed for this project. I'll show you later in the ToR document. Annexure 2 is the personal information of your staff or managers or any supervisors. You can add up the profile of the official, like the higher officials as well, to show your manpower or workforce capability, like name of the personnel, position and the firm, temporary or permanent, educational background, and years of experiences that he or she have for your company. Then Annexure 3 is to input the information of the financial statements stipulating the total assets, liabilities if you have, total investment, operative expenditures, taxes paid, profit after payment taxes, and annual turnover per year. So the number of years of the financial statements to be enclosed as required by the client here. So here it is mentioned from 2017 to 2022. Maybe some particular projects are mentioned for the last 5 years or 6 years. Put the information very carefully and correct one. Then Annexure 4 details about the office equipment, vehicles you have, or any instrument you use. So different segments are there, but similar form of the tables. The vehicles, like if you have a Toyota car, the brand of the Toyota car or equipment, year of the manufacturing, and then model number, serial number, registration number of the vehicle, present condition. You have to mention if it is in a good condition or workable condition, or it is in bad condition that can be rejected. So bad condition should not be mentioned here. Then the equipment, printers and computers that you have, and any software you have each or used in any projects. Then Annexure 5 is similar expenses, companies. So mind you, if you have a foreign partner, like here in this project, you want to have a JV partner with a foreign company. So both of the firms should enclose their information here. The project name, project location, start and completion date, and other details like name of the client, address, contact number, contract amount. Better to put the value here in single currency, name of the associated firm or JV partner if any, and a description of the services. Then name of your company and a signatory to sign here. The similar expense must be enclosed with the experience of the similar nature works that are required for this type of project. Last of all, the experience form for the works that actually done by my company other than my regular consultancy job. Like if I have done any construction business or any kind of supply businesses in my company, that should be mentioned for whom I have undertaken the project, the contract amount, start and completion date. So these are all formats or forms you have to complete and to enclose in the EOI offer. together with the company brochure as stated in the EOI notice, company legal documents like the registration certificates and team certificates, trade license, everything, and then JB information sheet or JB agreement, whichever required for this particular project, and letter of intent also instead of those JB information sheet or agreement and following letter. So just remember these kind of letter formats are usually given in the ISTB procurement guidelines. You can check it out there. I'll show you later on in the next section when discussing about the ToR to prepare the RFP proposal. Let us check out the terms of reference of ToR for the same project I was talking about. ToR actually is kind of a bid document here, which is referring the terms and conditions to follow here along with the project references, information you need, and a requirement to get qualified for the contract. We'll see one or two basic forms of ToR for different types of projects. Task achievement from the ToR is very important. Having all the necessary information about the project, and we need to understand the tasks to complete in each phases, such as a preliminary task to commence the work. So I'll show you in brief. This is the introduction about the project site and about the location and also about the government policy, government of Bangladesh power policies, and the generation capacity of the client. They are also a big company, organization company. Then objective of the assignment, what we have to do, we have to take it on granted very seriously. So these are the scope of services, and also as I was talking about the preliminary works to do. And these tasks are divided or subdivided in phases. Task one in phase one will commence the work, then an insertion report to be submitted in the beginning or at the end of this task. So you'll get payment and also EPC will get some benefit from the client side. Then the pre-construction activities to follow in the phase two. And then also a monthly progress waiting report to be submitted. As I told you, this project is about deploying the consultants from the companies. They will be like owners engineers from the client side, nevertheless to be called as second in command to supervise and monitor the project works with the EPC contractor and coordinate in preparing the insertion reports, monthly work progress reports together with the contractor. And the consultant themselves also check and scrutinize those progress reports they receive from the contractor for submitting for approval from the client side. So in phase two, this is a crucial job to perform for the consultants in task two. As you can check, witnessing the factory acceptance test, which we call type test, to be performed at the manufacturer's country of various equipment that is being used in the site, like solar panels, inverter, transformers, etc. Usually, these tests are performed in the third-party laboratory in presence of the EPC contractor, the client, and from your site engineers as well. It's very crucial because your primary approval or comments on these tests that carried out so nicely as per the IC standard before shipping the material or equipment to the client's country, and no damage or no other defects are arise, or check the technical specification as stipulated in technical brochure given by the vendors accurately matches after the test results. So there are some stipulations here for the consultants to follow. So the consultant together with the EPC contractor and client will visit the places, and all the cost for the travel, hoteling, daily allowances are borne by the consultant for themselves from their side. And these items will be mentioned separately in the reimbursable cost, as you can check here, for the 2 trips minimum and accommodation for 5 days. And also a site report at the end of the day you have to submit along with the test report commented by your experts. So in the cost, remember there will be two type of costs will be considered for the project works and to quote for this RFP proposal as well from your side, the remuneration or salaries which you call for the experts to be given as per their man month and volume of works and the reimbursable expenses. Yeah. Then to arrange the summary of all costs. Now in the next phase, it's kind of a funny phase, actually starting from the construction activities to follow. Here you can check the livelihood project, the gender related projects will be commencing here as well with their experts help and the health safety manuals along with the technical works to do like the installation, testing, commissioning, everything will be done in this phase. And also you have to submit the monthly progress report, or it could be quarterly progress reports, along with the payment certificates or invoices to be submitted for the payments. And then, and the tax 2 of phase 3, final phase, the project completion report, and the preliminary handover certificates to be given to the contractor. And then the operation liability period, as I was talking about, to maintain the guaranteed output of 220 megawatt AC for this project. One thing to be sure here about the construction phases, like the cost to be borne by the consultant for the offices, like there could be two offices at site office. Generally, you will be there with your experts to engage at the site work. So they need accommodation, office supplies like computers, softwares, and other things. And the city area office where the client's office is situated. So you need to contact the client time to time. And also the vehicles on rent you have to take or adjust from the rental companies. So bills must be submitted separately in reimbursable costs. I will just show you one of them. So here you can see provision for the office space, related office equipment, office supplies, vehicles on rental basis. So everything are there for the reimbursable portion. It's clearly mentioned should be in the limit that the client actually estimated. Now, why we need to understand or to get this tax very much clearly, because these tasks or descriptions of the scope of services should be mentioned in your methodology statement. When we are drafting the methodology, then you have to show that in the methodology statement you are following the guidelines to do the works along with the EPC contractor at your side to monitor, supervise the project works and other things as stipulated here. So that will be very much matched with the requirement from the client side. And also to complete the works, each milestone that could be given in the Gantt chart. By due date, you have to finish those things, those jobs. And EPC also will have a Gantt chart along with your one. So that will be some crucial moment or transfer can become or appear in the construction phases, like I show you. This is the one. This is the one that EPC will construct and show you. Like seasonal flooding happens open
occurs in our country, like some heavy rain or heavy showers are there that can hamper the work. So the work in that moment can be done in shorter period, or maybe it can take for some other months to complete the job. So it has been changed here. So maybe the Gantt chart would be changed accordingly. So I'll show you one of the Gantt chart here. So this is I have done in my Microsoft project online. You can check here the tax name, the assigned person, assigned personnel to mention here will be responsible to undertake this job. And then the year and the month. So here I have shown like in June the days to count, and these are the milestone, and each milestone will have dedicated monthly progress reports. Along with that, payment is adjusted for you, and also the EPC contractor will get the progress money as well. So you have to construct this thing very carefully. Now let us go through the contents of the technical and financial proposal. Remember, two of the proposals should be submitted along with the cover letter in this RFP proposal. So I have downloaded one document from the ISDB website. This is pure guideline with some markings to understand in each section. So this standard to be follows by each bidder very strictly, because when they will scrutinize this offer later on in the evaluation period, they will check every point or every paragraph of it or every format like the tables has given in each section to follow. And here is the numbering. Then we check here maximum score to achieve like 30 points are dedicated for adequacy of the consultant's qualifications or the company's qualification as a firm specifically match with this assignment. So 10 marks are there, 10 marks are there. So you can just adjust your the qualification here. Then the methodology and subdivide it into 10 points, like understanding of the assignment, what we have achieved from the ToR, and then the technical methodology and approach, what will be approached from your side to complete the job, and suitability of the implementation plan, the project schedule. Then 40 points allocated for the CVs. So you can check here, maximum points are for CVs. So you have to be very cautious about marking your own CVs and drafting it accordingly and nicely as required or as stipulated in the store. So the formats are given here. I'll show you. One thing to be sure here, the technical score should be 80 out of 100 to pass this technical part. And then the contents, very important one. So standard forms are there, should be enclosed along with the cover letter in the offer. So technical proposals, submission form, terms, references, like the certificates of your working experiences will be counted mostly here, and also specific experiences. For JVs, both companies will submit their own certificates. Then the comments and suggestions on the ToR if you have, and on the data and services or facilities to be provided by the client. So the facilities provided by the client, I will show you one contribution from the client side. So they will have something to do for us. Like the client will provide free of charge of all existing information that we need, data reports and maps related to the site or the project. And then will assist the consultant in obtaining other relevant information and in materials from the local government organization or Bangladeshi institutes. So you can have the permission from the client side. Nevertheless, it is our duty to check the availability, quality, and suitability of the information. That's the key things for us that can be adjusted like what we want. The adequate information is there. So now I will go again to the forms. So we have description from the methodology, spreadsheet. You just have to take in this in account, write down all those things. Then team composition and task assignments, formats of the CVs, time schedule for the personnel, like the deployment metrics of the experts at which time or which day, which month they will deploy from home or offices, and then the activity schedule. So I'll show you one by one. Take a proposal form, name and address of the client need to give, and then I need to provide the location and date. So nothing to change here, only to fill up these potential gaps here, and then sign it. And then the firm's references, you can check this table here, just fill out the sections as required very carefully. And then the comments and suggestion, if any. Then the detailed working methodology, as I was saying, with the work plan and man schedule, which carries most of the marks. We have to follow the tasks to perform the project. Said before, you have to mention the ways of completing the works, and the work plan is the site schedule like milestone or activities. Then the team composition here, you can check the tables are given here. Name of the experts required for this project, position and tasks to be held by the expert, then the support staff from your office. So you cannot change these formats. This is set by the ISDB. Then the CVs, the CV format is here. I should tell you one thing that each of the donor agencies like GIZ has different formats, ADB has different formats, so you have to follow this guideline thoroughly. Proposed positions such as the team leader, this write down here, name of your firm, either from your company or from a JV company, name of the staff, so everything will be there, e-qualifications, educations, etc. So we'll quickly go to the CV side. So this is the qualifications to be taken into account from your expert side, from your company to achieve the goal and to qualify very well. The client will scrutinize very much in depth with the analysis of the CV that you are drafting for your experts. So first of all, the international section, because this is ISDB standard bid, so international consultants from the foreign company is counted here, like the member state or member country of the ISDB. They deploy their international consultants. So team leader, so expert, 18 man months out of 28 man months for the foreign quota has been dedicated for him. Then 70% of his job will be at site or at the city area. So both way you have to handle all those things. The expert shall have a bachelor or higher degree in engineering or renewable energy or higher degree in relevant subject. Then he or she should have at least 20 years of professional experiences in engineering sector, of which at least 5 years in the development of solar power plants. And the expert also should have a global experience will count it like an advantage. So at least two solar power plants should be completed by him, like as a consultant, with an aggregated total capacity of 100 megawatts. So that means 50 plus 50 or 40 plus 16 megawatt in total. And the expert will also get some benefit if the person implemented at least one project financed by international donor agencies like IFDB or IDB. Then the key role to perform here. This is expected roles as written from the client side. Like it is expected from their side that they will enroll us in this kind of job to perform. So when you are drafting the CV or designing the CV of your expert, you have to mention all those things, or like he or she should has this kind of experiences to qualify. And then after the foreign quota ends, we'll have the national experts to follow. Deputy team leader, as we can check here, is the second man of this project to command or supervise the others. So 13 members are available for him. Also, the similar way structured the CV requirements. And then we have some other forms to follow after this CV. The time schedule for the experts to deploy whenever their works are counted to perform. You can see the given format here to fix the time scale or duration of the task to do by the expert at their designated zones, and also can accomplish the goal of the allocated man-months. They can work either at home, like at the head office in the city area of the client's country, or at site, or maybe in overseas. Sometimes they can operate from there. Then the activity project work schedule. So this is kind of a summary of your Gantt chart. So just put the activity's name here in short, and then and the months, how many months to complete the job, and also part B, completion and submission of projects. Sorry, submission of reports. So reports dates, as it is given in the table, you have to mention all those information here, like when you are actually submitting these reports. Now then the financial proposal, also similar way you have a form to submit, like financial proposal submission form, which is kind of a cover letter, not actual cover letter. You have to submit separately that one. Then summary of all costs. Remember summary of the remuneration and reimbursable costs as well. So between that, they need the client need to have a breakdown on the cost per activity. On that, also a breakdown of the salaries of each expert for their activities, reimbursable per activities, and miscellaneous expenses if any. So you can check when you download this document from the IFTP website or any donor agency website. You can check there. All those things are very much well designed for the bidders. Just put your values here in every single segments and just complete it accordingly for the submission. See here the breakdown of the remuneration costs, regular staff, local staff, consultants, and time total. Positions for the regular staff, inputs, how many numbers is given. Then remuneration currencies. So this amount, as it is an international project, so USD will be preferred most as an international currency. For the national experts, it will be counted in BDT, like in Bangladesh currencies. Then the reimbursable, look at there. So a mention of the trip part trip for the international flights. How many times they will travel through airplane from the home country to the client's country, especially the international experts, unit price, and then total amount, and other expenses. So along with these financial forms, you have to submit, or the client may ask you to submit the annual audited balance sheet for the last 3 years of your company to check your strength, the financial strength of your company. So that can be submitted along with these forms and tables. So these are the facts and figures of the ToR proposal. You got to believe yourself that all those documents are required for this RFP as given by the client in the ToR should be fulfilled accordingly and respectfully submitted. So that can give you an extra benefit to win the tender or win the contract. So my friends, and now before ending this session, please have a look into other type of ToR here of other donor agencies like ZIZ of German agency. So we have a plan like my company where I worked. They had managed this contract from GIZ, the German-based donor agencies like IFDB or ADB. They have floated this tender for the consultancy firms like study on the transition to grid electricity for the RNG sector in Bangladesh. So the RNG sectors in Bangladesh are huge in number, and they are consuming so many powers or electricity for their factory usage. Uh, Due to that problem, sometimes in some of the areas, the other consumer, normal retail customers cannot get the power or electricity in a respected way. So in that case, government actually emphasizes the R&D sector or impose some other source of power or electricity generation from other sources like solar, wind, or any kind of renewable energies apart from the grid electricity supply. So that is to be taken into account, like to do a feasibility study if it is feasible to do that. So there they have made this ToR, and what I like here in this ToR, they have designed it in a very well manner. Like we don't have to worry about drafting the technical methodology here. I will show you. So first of all, before going to the methodology, you can check this task to perform, and each task has some duration, like deadline 2 months after signing the contract. So this is very easy for you to design the Gantt chart accordingly with this task to perform in this duration. And then the methodology has concept, look at that. Strategy, first of all, then cooperation, steering committees, result-based merging system. This is another part. So three parts are there. Then another parts are like processes, how it could be like generating the ideas, how it could be implemented, the works from your side. Then operational plan, the work schedule, then contribution, what you've learned from this, and how you can innovate some genuine ideas, or you can guide the energy sector owners to actually implement that power sources from other resources like solar or wind or any other renewable energies to generate the electricities. So we just put these descriptions of each segment according to the headings here. So this would be evaluated very well, like this one assessment sheet. You can check here, very simple way they have given it. So for each bidder, they have designed this matrix like the weighted average of 4%, 5%, total 9% to achieve in the strategy section, then cooperation, steering structure, everything. So when I design this methodology, actually I put the information for each segment very respectively, whatever they required from me, and what I have achieved from this store, what I have achieved means what I have learned from this store, and the task achievement. That is, I wanted to tell. Then the CV assessment, like you can see here, the team leader. So he or she should have a basic qualification of education, master degree or PhD also counted. So as it was a German funded project, so in that case, GIZ wanted us to deploy any team leader shape personnel like in a higher position could be German people. So they have option also. The local expert can do that as well. So what I want to show here, like the numbering or marking of these segments, like qualification 2%, language 1%, general experiences to show 3% marks, and specific experiences carries 4%, leadership with any the project you have lead from the front, and then regional experiences in Asia. This is a non project, so you got to have at least one or two projects earlier completed in your career. That is another advantage. Then development cooperation experiences 2%. Others, if any, then 2%, total 70% marking. So you can do one thing, you can format this matrix in your way, and you just mark on the CVs, like the CVs made by your expert, if he or she can qualify it, so you can guess it easily. Just quickly, one more project, like I have to show you the ToR, especially the markings. Like this project is a local project, but they also followed the international guideline here. The specific experiences for the consultant of the farm consist of 10 points. Then again, you can check it 30 points. And in the methodology, actually subdivided in three categories. So all of them will be same one document. Just have to put this work plan or work schedule attached with this methodology statement with the staffing schedule. Then the CVs, as you can check here, 50% marks are carried by these experts. It's a huge one. You have to be very vigilant about making the CVs or drafting the CVs in a way or in a fashion that can match with the requirement. And the technical points required to pass is 70, but the very percentage for winning this bid. Also, there are some stipulations like technical part carries 80% marks and financial is 20%. So you've got to believe one thing that technically you have to be very much eligible or in better shape to qualify for the project. So, well, guys, this is it for now from me, and I'll be back soon with another video on the standard bid document review, as I was describing in the beginning of this video, and drafting of the bid offers as per the standard. So if you have any questions on this video, please comment here. You can also visit my profile on Fiverr for any service related to the bid or RFP proposal making and waiting. And for more upcoming videos, please subscribe me in my channel, and your comments and impression on my videos will be highly appreciated. So thanks for watching.